Imagine an AI that literally argues with itself to fix fatal bugs before the text even appears on your screen. Anthropic introduced Claude Opus 4.7, and after days of brutal, real-world stress testing, we need to talk about it. Welcome back to AI Tool Tracker. Today, we are settling the debate. Is Opus 4.7 a genuine frontier upgrade, or just a sophisticated way to burn through your API budget? The landscape just shifted massively with OpenAI dropping GPT 5.5, so by the end of this video, you're gonna see exactly how Claude stacks up against the new GPT 5.5 and Google's Gemini 3.1 Pro. Plus, I'm going to reveal the one massive trade-off that nobody else is mentioning. Let's get into it. Opus 4.7 is Anthropic's new heavyweight champion. If you're using Sonnet, you're getting speed. But Opus 4.7 is built for the absolute hardest problems. It comes with Ultra HD vision, stronger coding and multi-step reasoning, and deeper reliability for complex professional workflows. But with premium model pricing and heavier reasoning behavior, what are you actually paying for?
The biggest workflow shift in this update is a feature called self-verification. Essentially, the model runs a built-in quality control pass on its own output before streaming it to you. Think of it as Claude writing a rough draft, handing it to a skeptical internal reviewer, and only showing you the final result once the reviewer approves it.
I tested this with a messy, real-world SQL prompt, the kind a stressed product manager might write. I asked it to calculate weekly active users, accounting for time zones, soft deletes, and midweek signups.
Sonnet 4.6 gave a fast, polished answer. It caught most of the obvious edge cases, and at first glance, it looked production-ready. But the structure still mixed a global UTC week spine with user local week buckets, which is exactly where time zone analytics can become fragile. Opus 4.7 handled the task more deliberately. It treated each user's week as time zone local from the start, used half-open intervals, capped the eligible window with sign-up and deletion times, and even called out the production performance trade-off.
So the difference wasn't that Sonnet completely failed. The difference was that Opus 4.7 felt more like a senior reviewer.
It slowed down, checked the boundary logic more carefully, and gave me a safer query for a real production analytics workflow. This wasn't a case where the older model completely collapsed. Sonnet 4.6 actually did well, but Opus 4.7 gave a more production-aware answer. It modeled the problem around each user's local week from the beginning, which made the final query feel safer for real analytics work. All right, back to Claude. The vision upgrade sounds boring on paper, but it's spectacular in practice. Claude 4.6 capped image uploads at roughly 1,092 pixels, aggressively downsampling dense images. Claude 4.7 accepts up to 2,576 pixels on the long edge, about 6 times the total pixel count. I tested the vision upgrade with something much more practical, a messy Walmart receipt. Same image, same prompt. Claude 4.6 played it extremely safe. It recognized Walmart, but marked almost everything else as unclear.
That is better than hallucinating, but it also means the image wasn't very useful.
Opus 4.7 handled it completely differently. It extracted the date, several item prices, subtotal, tax, and final total. But the impressive part was the reasoning. It noticed the receipt said 6 items were sold, while only 5 were clearly visible. Then it calculated the missing gap, matched it to the obscured item, and checked whether the subtotal and final total still made sense.
That is the real vision upgrade. Claude 4.7 is not just reading pixels. It is using visual reasoning to turn a messy real-world image into structured, usable information. Let's talk about the new reasoning budget, X-High.
Standard mode uses a few hundred internal thinking tokens. X-High scales that up to roughly 30,000 tokens.
I tested adaptive thinking with a messy login form that had hidden production bugs.
Without adaptive thinking, Opus 4.7 already found the big issues: missing returns, weak validation, duplicate submit problems, missing headers, and missing error handling. But with adaptive thinking on, the response became more production aware. It explained how the bugs chain together, like how an invalid email could still submit, the duplicate submit guard didn't actually stop anything, and the loading state reset before the server responded. So the upgrade is not always more bugs found. Sometimes it's a better review, clearer priorities, better failure chain analysis, and a cleaner path to fix the problem.
My rule of thumb: use adaptive thinking for deep code reviews, security flows, legal checks, financial logic, or production debugging. Don't waste it on quick emails or captions.
Finally, Claude 4.7 cures its people-pleaser syndrome. I gave both models a strict prompt to write a product description using only 5 exact facts with 0 adjectives. 4.6 couldn't help itself and added extra marketing fluff. 4.7 delivered a completely flat, highly technical response that followed my brief to the absolute letter.
If you do compliance writing, structured data extraction, or prompt chaining, where AI outputs feed into another system, this calibration removes the need for manual cleanup entirely. So, how does it rank? Gemini 3.1 Pro is still the better pick for multimodal work. Google Docs, workspace files, Notebook LM, PDFs, audio, video, and mixed media research. But for careful code review, strict instruction following, and agentic workflows, Claude 4.7 feels more deliberate. GPT 5.5 is the real heavyweight. For coding, math, data analysis, and terminal heavy work, GPT 5.5 is pulling ahead. But for high-resolution vision, compliance-style tasks, and careful reviews, Claude 4.7 remains one of the most reliable options. The trade-off is simple. Claude Opus 4.7 is slower and more token-hungry. Use it for high-stakes work, not quick emails or simple rewrites. My takeaway: Claude 4.7 is not the cheapest or fastest model, but it feels like a serious peer reviewer, not just an assistant I need to babysit. If you made it this far, comment the one task your AI still keeps failing at, and subscribe for the next deep dive. If